You know what the question is?
Yeah, I know.
Can I answer it?
He loves the hairdryer.
Yeah, I know. I love the hair dryer. I mean, you know, we're gonna have fun at the bowl game and see what's gonna be.
So have you gotten any feedback back yet?
No, not yet. I think it takes about a week or two, and they'll send it through email, I think. So, you know, when I get the evaluation, we'll see and sit down, and you know, that'll be a little bit of a judgment off. And there's so much other stuff that you got to take into account, but that's, you know, one thing you'll look at.
Is that when you're going to sit down with the coaches and talk to them like more?
No, I've talked to Moore. I've talked to Mazzoni. I've talked to, you know, a couple people. And, you know, throughout this whole process, I'll still, you know, talk to Moore. Maybe sometime I'll sit down and talk to a few others. Obviously, Jed, I'll talk to him. But other than that, you know, I'll talk to my family when I get back to Arizona, so that should be pretty cool.
Those meetings help you out at all with your thought process?
Yeah, and you know, there's a couple people I know I'm really listen to, and who have a lot of experience with this and a lot of knowledge, and sort of who I trust the most, sort of like my circle. So I'll talk to those people, and I'll really get all the information. At the end of the day, you know, with all the information I get, I'll be able to make a decision based off of that.
When you look back at the bowl process, all the practices last year, anything stand out that maybe you guys could have done better, or that maybe contributed to the Baylor game?
No, you know, I think this year we're a more mature team. I think even though we have a lot of freshmen on this team and a lot of freshmen playing, I think one thing that the leadership has done is really help them mature, and even them themselves have really matured far away. So, you know, we're coming a long way, and this week and, you know, leading up to the game, we just got to really dig deep in ourselves and understand that this isn't a vacation. This is still a business trip, and we gotta make sure we all know that.
Have you started watching film on
Yeah,
Virginia Tech?
I've been watching a lot of film recently, so we're gonna have something nice.
What are your impressions?
They're a good team. They're a good defense. You know, they do things well. They move around a lot. They have a big front four, great secondary. You know, they play around, play a lot of man coverage, try to switch things up a little bit. But, you know, we're going to be ready. It's going to be a fun little game.
When you're talking about, like, 2.5 weeks before the bowl game, can you almost watch too much film?
And that's the one thing you don't want to do. I think that's the one thing that I personally have a problem with is maybe watching too much film, because, you know, I'll start writing up game plans, and then there'll be this whole elaborate plan. But, you know, we can't, you know, it's hard to get everybody on the same page, you know, when there's a quarterback thinking of all this stuff. So, you know, I'll make sure the plan is, you know, simple, set. Me and Coach Mazzoni will sit down and talk about the game plan. I'll give my ideas, he'll give his ideas, and we'll sort of create it there and then, and just make sure that everybody can be on the same page by the game.
What stands out for you from the Baylor game? What do you remember in particular now?
Cover zero. I remember that a lot. But I think that's pretty much the standout. But just sort of going through that game, I think it was a big learning process for us. And you know, we'll be ready for everything now. Yeah, I think that sort of caught us off guard. It was the first time we sort of caught a lot of stuff like that. But Baylor played a heck of a game. They're a great team, and you know, we learned a lot, and now we're better for it this year.
Shanti's gotten some time out there. What do you think of his development, especially in the last few months?
He's gonna be really good. I think you know, he's still a young quarterback right now. He still has a lot to develop, but you know, just with all of us. And I think at the end of the day, he's gonna be a really good quarterback coming through UCLA.
When you think about your own process through your redshirt year, where do you think he matches up with? Is he kind of where you were at that point, do you feel like?
It's hard to tell, you know. When obviously, you know, the new coaches were in here, and we just got sort of things rolling there, so I was still learning the whole new offense, just like obviously he is. But, you know, he does good things, a lot of good things, and I think he has a lot to learn still. But, you know, we're you know, I try to work with him a lot personally, too. So, you know, he's like a little bro almost. So, you know, he has a lot to work on. But even me in my redshirt year, I still had a lot to work on at the same point.
How long after that last bowl game were you still watching film of the game and of yourself, just trying to look at that for the next season?
I don't think I ever stopped watching. I think that took a break probably for maybe a month, if that. And, you know, I would go through each game, and I would just write notes on it day in and day out, and then come into this season working. Sweet.
Cool.